The path led off towards the center of the island. It was a stout, overhanging branch. If I jumped, I could just about reach the branch. The path was blocked by an ugly and extremely dangerous-looking boar. The boar's expression said, "Forget it, Stobart." That boar wasn't going to move unless I made him. I couldn't get close enough to stick the dart in him. The boar looked determined to stop me from getting past. Climbing the tree wasn't going to help any in this situation. Assuming I could manage not to wander off the path, it led back to the cliff top. The path led off into the forest. The path led back up to the cliff top. Another tree-lined path leading to more trees and paths. I could have sworn this path. Another tree-lined path leading to more trees and paths. It was a stagnant swamp. Nothing, I mean nothing, would possess me to step into that swamp. A clump of reeds grew out of the stinking swamp. It was a clump of reeds. One reed was enough. Ah! Stay cool, Stobart. It was only a bird. It was a short, hollow reed. I'd seen it done in movies. The hero eludes his foe by hiding underwater, breathing through a hollow reed until it's safe to come out. I was glad I didn't have a foe to elude. Oh no, I wasn't going in there. That path looked familiar, but then they all did. As soon as I stooped to investigate the hole, its inhabitant disappeared into the darkness. There was something in that hole beneath the rock. The creature disappeared again, but I caught a glimpse of something small and furry. The end of the reed was too narrow for the dart to fit into. The end of the reed had been neatly bitten off. Now I knew what was living in there. A long-toothed, snarling, furry wild thing. It was home to something with more teeth than kind thoughts in its head. The reed was a lot shorter since that creature had savaged it. I wasn't about to try that again. I'm way too attached to my fingers. The dart fitted snugly into the reed. Great. I was tooled up and dangerous. What the? Steady, guy. It's just a monkey. That path looked familiar, but then they all did. That path looked like the one I'd just come along. The poisoned dart was loosely lodged inside the reed. Yet another path led off into the forest. It was a needle of rock in the middle of the clearing. It didn't look like a natural formation. I remembered Ketch's log. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? Seemed pretty relevant now. No good. I'd have to be bitten by a radioactive spider before I stood any chance of getting up there. The rock was partially overgrown by creepers. It was the electronic marker which Bronson used with his theodolite. The marker wasn't going to stay attached to anything as thick as the creeper. I could see no point in tying the net to the creepers on the rock. The marker clipped firmly onto the net. The electronic marker was wrapped up in the net. It would be easier if I pulled away some of the creeper first. The creeper just came away from the rock as I pulled it. The creeper lay on the ground, looking pretty crept out. Great. I'd created some sort of creeper marker fishing net assembly. Sometimes I terrify myself with my creative genius. The marker was fastened to the creeper by the net. Now it was starting to look like something useful. The marker was attached to the net, which was in turn attached to the creeper. I'd successfully got the marker into a position near the top of the needle simply by using the kind of lateral thinking that can get you institutionalized. I wasn't going to pull it down now I'd got it up there. That high up, the marker should be visible for miles. The path led to where the boar hung out. There was no telling where it went. The path led to the clearing with the needle of rock. There was no telling where it went. Hold on. I've been here before. Haven't I? One of these paths had to lead out of the forest. The path almost certainly led somewhere I'd already been. Huh? Keep your nerve, George. It's just a zombie. I don't think I like this forest very much. It looked just the same as every other path. The path almost certainly led somewhere I'd already been. The path led down into the tangled trees. Initials had been carved into the rock. Initials carved into the stone read F.K. Frederick Ketch had been here. 3 shallow holes had been made in the rock. Joining the dots would make an equilateral triangle. It was Bronson's theodolite, now being put to a nobler use than petty larceny. The hill I was on had reminded me of a camel's hump as I'd climbed up it. Now I had to see what I could see. It was a good cave for hiding treasure in. Shame about the flooding problem. A needle rock. Eye of the needle? Heck, Ketch could have hidden his treasure anywhere. This island's full of hiding places. There was an enormous cave. Every tourist for the last 3 centuries must have been in that one. An ugly little cave. Didn't look like the sort of place you'd want to leave treasure. It was the marker which I had raised up the needle of rock. I could see the marker I had fastened on the rock down in the forest, and right in line with it, that had to be where Ketch had hidden his treasure. The track led in the direction of the rock I'd seen through the theodolite.